All right, we're live, FYI, Julian.
Woo! Oh, yeah, watch now.
We'll wait for Dana to come here.
The giant chasm between us speaks volumes.
Right? We need to end this pandemic immediately so that we can, move closer. No.
Also that.
Yeah, let me actually move you up here. Then we'll have an empty spot at the bottom tonight. Okay, so, yeah, the aspect ratios and all this are stupid and ridiculous.
I'm just being mean.
We have some listening to do, and I am pumped about it. So, forgive me my volume mixing, managing all of this. My Stream Deck just broke, and I am sad. Alright. Here's Final Fantasy I NES in the top left corner. Ooh, I didn't mean to go in the town yet. Hold on. We'll just listen to the outside music a minute. This is our base value. Pixel remasters are out this week. We're spending the first hour here looking at them. And I have played a ton of them in the past 2 days. Alright, there's our loot point. Oh! Hold on 1 second. I'm going to click out here and absolutely dominate these people on the other screen. I am controlling two at once. I can't turn off the remaster like I can the emulators. Elizabeth, that is weird. Okay, while we look at me fighting the giant, let's load up the Game Boy Advance version now. Hi, Dana.
Hi. Yay!
Okay. So now you are listening to the Game Boy Advance soundtrack in the top right. Graphically, note that we are still in a true top-down view in the top right. Much like the NES, the Game Boy Advance game is based on the WonderSwan Color Edition, which I confess I did not boot up. There's also MSX and WonderSwan Color ports of Final Fantasy I. We're going to pretend those don't exist today. Because, look, we're already doing 4 of these. That's a lot.
There's so many.
So here's the music looping around. We'll wait for it to finish up here. Alright, there's our loop point here for town, right? Alright, we're gonna jump to the PSP in the lower left now. The PSP arrangements are the same as the Game Boy Advance, but the sound quality is a little improved, because the system is technically superior. But the arrangements and the orchestration are the same. What's not the same about the PlayStation Portable Edition, which is also the old iOS edition, for those keeping track, is the graphics are wildly different now. It looks much more like Final Fantasy VI than it does Final Fantasy I in the lower left corner of the Twitch broadcast. You can see instead of a top-down view, there's like a tilted 3/4 or 2/3 pseudo 3D
That fog
view. And we'll get to that later once I go to the town. But first, let's let this loop once. Alright, and there it hits. We'll pause it there. Let me unmute now the new edition. This is the lower right screen now. And Dana, can you see everything and hear everything? Are you all connected and good? Okay.
Oh yeah, I need to jump on Discord, don't I?
Yes, to see the visuals, you need Discord.
Saw it on the stream and I just wasn't thinking.
So, you might have
Okay, I
noticed
kinda
I'm
like
right
it.
outside the desert because my save file's about to get the airship. I thought we'd all watch one cutscene together, and then I'll fly to town on this file, and we'll do the in-town comparison, and start the real listening.
It looks like Final Fantasy IV SNES in the mountains.
It absolutely looks like Final Fantasy IV all around, which is stupendous in my book. No, there's a B section here. Keep listening. We didn't just loop, right? We have a second set of orchestration now. Alright, now it's looping. Let's go to the desert and do this thing. This cutscene, which was not in the NES edition, it is in all the others, comes to us from the WonderSwan port, where these cutscenes originated. The PSP version adds a full pseudo-movie cutscene. We don't have those. That's good, actually. Oh no, am I actually going to have to bring up the WonderSwan port too? Hold on, let me see if I got it.
Oh my goodness.
I don't normally boot the WonderSwan, because...
There it is.
Alright, I've got it. Alright,
That's all
Elizabeth,
you got, too.
ask and ye shall receive here. Hold on. One more version of Final Fantasy I to look at. I will boot it up to the stream once I hit Coneria after I make a new file here. Let me turn off Pixel Remaster's sound while I'm doing this. Alright. No, I don't want to use the X potion. Hold on. Okay, perfect. One more version I will patch in here. For Elizabeth's sake. Alright, let's situate this in the Switch. You'll notice...
That sounds like poop.
You'll notice this looks very similar to the Game Boy Advance, which is why I normally skip it in my version comparisons. But we can do a quick listen. I like the WonderSwan color, I'll have you all know. It's not poop, Julian.
Just that it sounded like it.
Wow.
It's
That's
a unique
resonance.
chiptune sound, which should make Dana pretty happy, actually. So, actually,
Very resonant.
the WonderSwan arrangements are really elegant and under-looked at. So maybe it's good that Elizabeth has prompted me to turn them on here. And again, you can see that the Game Boy Advance port... Let me walk into town in that version quickly after we hit this loop point right here. Graphically, it's very similar. Musically, we're pretty far removed from the NES edition here.
Whoa.
Let's wait on the town theme a moment, though. That quick moving guitar line, or whatever that is really good in this particular arrangement of it. That's our looping point for the Game Boy Advance. Move that aside. Let's go to the NES edition next and hear the original.
The only one I know.
Yeah, me too.
It's weird, Final Fantasy I after Tetris is the game with the most ports on any single system.
Wow. Wow.
It's
I
everywhere.
haven't seen any of them.
Ah.
Whereas I am knee deep in Tetris at the moment. I have a chapter due in a couple days.
Excellent.
I'm
Don't we all?
knee deep.
Yes, all
Half
the
of
writing.
it is like, hey, go back to that article I wrote. Because I only have 2,000 words, so.
Alright, now I'm going to take us over to the PSP. Lower left. The art is very much different on the PSP, notice. Let me make that screen bigger for the stream, folks. How do I give that priority over? Pixel remasters, there we go. Here. This art style...
Okay, where are we? What is this?
This is the town theme?
No, which version is this?
This is the PSP high definition version.
Okay. Okay, I'm losing track.
Yeah, PSP, okay.
This version, the music is, again, a superior quality version of the same arrangements on the Game Boy Advance. So musically, we're going to be able to dispense with GBA pretty soon, but for art style reasons, I'm keeping it up on the stream. The PSP edition here, to me, has always looked like, what if we tried to make the Final Fantasy franchise look like it debuted on the Sega Saturn? There's a lot of really crisp lines everywhere.
Yeah.
You have that, like, Sega Genesis cloud shadowing that Julianne just pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
And I have nothing against this. It's very cool, but it's very much not the proportions that I expect with the Final Fantasy franchise, as I understand it, on NES and WonderSwan / Game Boy Advance. Where if I resize this window back down, you'll notice that you can see pixel for pixel, like on Game Boy compared to WonderSwan, or Game Boy and NES, where each thing is. You've got to remember where things are on the PSP edition of the game.
Remember.
But most importantly for us, hold on,
Oh,
this
so
goes
nice.
over here.
Okay.
It's time to bump this up in priority.
Now we're at the remaster.
This is now the remaster. Let me turn the sound back on.
The pixel
remasters that came out. Yes. Let's fly over to Coneria. Oh, no, I can fly diagonally now, which is a total mind job if you're used to the normal rules of this game. Alright, here we go. Look at the water effects. It's all done with pixels and no special effects now.
That's cool.
That's
Whatever.
pretty decent.
Like, shut up.
I can get down with that.
The filter's gorgeous. It's so good. More importantly for us on stream, listen to this music track. I'm going to turn it up for a moment. There's no loop. It cadenced instead. Because there's a whole B section now.
It's like they made a game for nerds like us. Now, if only the fonts had been better, right? Then it would be fine.
Oh, I fixed that. Check it out. It's fine
You
now.
fixed the font issue?
So
Oh yeah, that looks better.
the American English font is very bad. The Japanese English font, seen here, is pretty good. You just copy the relevant files and overwrite them in the Steam directory, and it auto-fixes the whole thing in one go.
There's different menu music?
There is now, yes.
Oh,
It's clarinet now, too. This track was present on the NES. It was absent in either PSP or GBA.
Interesting.
And compared to the Game Boy Advance arrangements of these, which were officially supervised by Uematsu but not done by him, which basically I'm assuming that means he had the right of refusal but didn't do the work. This feels like he and his team actually touched all the tracks by hand. Hi, Darksword. There's the loot point. I have to play the shop music and do this comparison once as well. And then we'll quit doing 4 squared comparisons. We'll just listen to the remastered stuff for a little bit. Otherwise, we'll get too bogged down, I think.
I want to get bogged.
Hold on. I need to elevate that one so I can see it and the stream can see it. There we go, in the top left corner now. We're going to go in the weapon shop and listen. This is the original you're hearing and looking at now, top left. Here's the loop. Let's go in the weapon shop now on the PSP. You'll notice it's actually a shop we can wander around, not unlike the remaster. And the PSP soundtracks for Final Fantasy 1 and 2, we'll touch 2 for about 2 minutes. We're going to focus on 1 today, I think. Oh, I can fix that. Thanks, Darksword.
Contra bassoons are fun. We should give them more to do.
Here we go. We have played the PSP Final Fantasy IV on stream, which has this art style, and which both Dana and Julianne felt the tracks there were adequate, but not brilliant, and we usually listened to the original after checking out the new ones each time on our playthrough. Back
but
to
I do dig that it sounds like there's an accordion in this.
Back to the remaster now. It's on fiddle in the new one.
Ooh. What? I don't know how I feel.
Okay. Hello, staccato articulation. Accenting the end of that phrase.
Yep, and a new B section as well.
Ah, that's why I'm gonna buy it. It's these B sections.
I love that appoggiatura. That's so good. And then it repeats from there.
Thanks, Dana.
I do what I can.
All right. Let's,
No C-section, I hope.
Very good. Let me, mute that and go back to the PSP. We'll fly a couple places.
Not always. Sometimes the C-section happens to you.
Yeah.
It just depends how things are progressing. I'm lucky I didn't have to deal with that. Everything was like clockwork for me.
Ooh, keeping track of all these versions is tough. Okay.
A little bit.
Put the PSP version there. Let's do some flying.
Alright, do that. I think I'm gonna get just a little tipple of rosé. I'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alright, we gotta listen to this. Not just because Dark Sword said so, but because, man, the new one's so good.
Okay. Okay. I mean, PSP, right?
Yep. I agree with Dark Sword. The PSP version is fine. Nothing wrong with it. We'd probably listen once and go back to the originals. And for the sake of completion, let me enable the NES emulator. And bop on back there. I don't think I have any equipment right now, but I can just run from every fight on the way there. It's not a big deal. I did not play Final Fantasy I 4 times for all of you. I had an existing PSP file. I'm sorry. No, so I think there's a legitimate argument to be made for the PSP version as the superior version of this title, ultimately. We'll get there, Elizabeth. But there's also an extra 10 hours or so of gameplay on the PSP version that's not in the new one. That really pisses me off. Anyway, here's our original. Yeah, gameplay-wise, if you just want quantity of content, the PSP edition of the game has bonus dungeons where you can fight all the bosses from 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the new edition does not have those.
Why not?
They took out all the content that wasn't on the NES, with some weird exceptions. Anyway, here's our Chaos Shrine. Again, Dark Sword's right. The PSP edition is fine. Oh, my face is frozen on stream. That's hot. How do I fix that?
That's hot. Paris Hilton, circa 2004.
Let me figure out how to fix myself here.
What, the Pixel remasters you're playing on, what, Steam?
Yes. I'm gonna put on my face. Very quickly.
He comes back in, like,
Why is
full
my
makeup
face-
with contour.
Uh-huh.
Which would impress me because I can't contour, so.
Why is my face off? All these
You have to have
compliments
an
about
art
me
degree.
being able to stream, and now I can't do it.
Yeah.
Ah. Hold on.
That smoothie is delicious. It's organic vanilla bean yogurt and pineapple and some chia seed.
Alright, well, I'll sort that out in a couple of minutes. Let's go back to the Pixel Remaster, which I'm hoping people can still See you in a moment.
I should shut up.
Facial skid mark.
Alright.
Oh man, it's true though.
Yeah.
Like bronzer, I've never been able to get a bronzer to look like anything good on me.
One complaint about the Pixel Remaster while we're doing this. Hey, I'm not a fan of this I'm not a fan of this airship theme at all.
Worst airship ever.
What?
This is too much.
Yes, it is. It's much too much.
Like hilarious.
I feel like I should be like fighting Sky Ultros. It's over the top.
I love ba 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 in the tubular bells.
Chamber orchestra plus percussion.
So this speaks to my problem with almost all of the combat themes in the trilogy. There's the loot point. There are times when you're listening to this soundtrack where it feels like you're not listening to the original, but the video game's live concert performance.
Yeah.
The battle theme especially does this.
Whoa, okay.
Right? The electric guitar, but orchestral brass strings, feels like Tommy Tallarico up on the stage.
I kind of like it.
Want anything that feels like Tommy Tallarico, but I like this. Retract your statement.
Wow.
Alright, let's finish this fight and go into the Chaos Shrine now. Again, combat
Victory
stuff.
fanfare.
Yeah,
Yeah.
combat stuff is very VGL.
At least the victory fanfare kind of matches the vibe of their
Of the combat,
you know?
yes. Listen
Yeah.
to this, though.
Okay. Yeah, alright. That
Yeah.
cello can get it. I feel like I'm suddenly in an Apocalyptica song. It's a better trill than I can do, let me tell you.
Yeah, the string trails and that movement and arrival upwards is brand new to this track, and it's so good.
That's something I always readily admit to my violin students, that I've just never loved my trills.
So, one nice thing is that you get the whole soundtrack right from the get-go.
Oh, nice.
This one.
Okay. What?
The new turns and trills here are really good. That whole lick is super
I
good.
dug that. Gave it kind of Celtic vibe.
There we go.
All right, there's the loop. Oh my god, Elizabeth, I actually did play that on the piano, and it's... I love you. It's not awesome.
She made you a song? That's so kind.
She made me the Matoya's Cave theme with the chord progression of the order of the Final Fantasy games I've played, independent of how good or bad that will sound.
Oh, that's great.
Oh.
I'm sure it's awful, but it's great.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Ha, the notation's more accurate than Wailing Heights. Like coming out of Black Maids up there, you mean?
Alright, there's a couple more I really want to play here.
I even pretended to care about voice leading something. Now I really want to hear this.
I don't have a recording, but I can DM you the sheet music I got.
You know what I actually don't have? Speaking of musical gifts to friends, Ryan, you sent, when you did the Enchantment Under the Sea Dance surprise for me,
Yes.
you didn't send me the file, you sent it to the side quest people.
Oh,
So
weird, yeah.
I don't have it.
I will get it a copy to you.
Yeah.
The in theme is a cute, like, Super Mario World slow-mo version of the shop theme now,
Yeah.
which is super cute.
Makes it more lullaby.
Yes. And then, starting with the Game Boy Advance edition, I don't think the WonderSwan does this, but Game Boy Advance introduces boss music to the game. So these will be all new tracks to Dana and Julianne. But you can see this one builds on the original combat theme.
That's actually funny. Oh my gosh.
This sounds like way more than a mini boss.
Oh, it froze
Definitely.
again. Oh man.
This plays for like Garland and Astos and like non-fiend bosses.
Non-Josephines.
Right. Here is the fiend boss.
Saucy little rhythm.
Alright. Actually, I'm gonna go back up here. That thief sprite we're seeing now with the blue hair, by the way, is from the NES, but the Game Boy Advance and PSP editions traded out for a green garbed Robin Hood thief, and now we have the blue hair, brown outfit thief back. It feels more faithful to the NES, and that's been every change from the older enhanced ports to this one has been to be more faithful to the NES edition of the game. We gotta do the castle themes, plural, now, because Western Keep got its own.
Again, we have that majestic cello.
Yes. We get a little more theme than we expect, though, here. Like a couple other pieces, which is really good. Lenny, you do. There it is for you.
And buttresses.
Yeah. It's too smooth. I guess, well, now with the harpsichord in there firmly established and the toot 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 first video game.
And then we have the, where is it? Derelict Keep. This is Astos' hideout in the Castle of Ordeals. And on the NES, they would have just gotten the same castle music.
This is very Japanese sounding.
This one does have a Japanese aesthetic to it that some of the others don't. Like the normal castle theme feels very Mozart, as people have been joking around in the chat.
Two stepwise for a dang castle. Aren't musical parapets just square waves, Julianne?
Alright, now I'm gonna reset some things. Load content.
I'm glad I got a waveform joke in there.
You did
I'm
well.
really proud of I'm proud of myself.
You should be.
Now, if only I can have such elegant turns of phrase in my Tetris thing.
Is that for the key guides?
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing Zelda.
Are you? Is it original?
Yeah, I think so.
Like this one?
Yeah. I'm just gonna be like, see Dave's shirt.
Right, we're gonna jump to Final Fantasy II briefly, and I'm under the impression that I know this much better than the rest of most of the folks here.
Oh yeah, I've never seen it, heard it, played it.
It uses almost all the same assets from Final Fantasy I in the original.
Yeah.
Let's bump up the NES view a little bit. The water moves in Final Fantasy II on the NES, which I always thought was like this technical marvel the first time I saw it, because the water in 1 is static. Luckily for us, the big themes are right at the start, so I don't have to do a lot of gameplay. You'll notice, because they reuse so many assets, Firion, who is the named character here, looks like the fighter from Final Fantasy I. I'm gonna get into a fight very quickly. Maria, our first officially female character.
Oh, I have heard that.
Maria is palette restricted to look like the fighter, and it's essentially a female ROM hack sprite of what that first fighter sprite is. It's not really creative per se, if that makes sense. And then Guy, character 3, is a slightly modified thief with black belt hair, but like the thief's outfit.
Oh, I love her little bow and arrow.
Alright. I just wanted to show everybody the combat sprites one time, but we'll finish this fight, then go into the town, where there's two themes that are probably the two big themes for this game. I always liked that they march off, by the way.
I take it back that I haven't heard this, because I I transcribed some of this for my Cleopatra chapter. But I hadn't played the game, I had just like...
Very familiar with
I just had the...
Right.
That's it, yeah. Played only a little bit of the game.
Yeah, I transcribed this town theme. Here I'm like, oh, I haven't done this game.
This is the town theme that I like to use for solfege, right? Do, re, mi, mi, fa, so, la, ti, do is how you know you're home.
I think I did one instead of one because this one came out closer to... there's some...
So here's our loop point coming up. Give me just a second. And here's the big march theme that the orchestras play from this game.
Yes, so good.
And it is very good. This might be the best NES track in the trilogy, honestly. I love this piece of music.
It's true.
Hi, Anthony Dennis Music. Alright, let's pause there. Let's load FF2 Pixel Remaster now.
Steam just alerted me that you're playing Final Fantasy 2.
Oh, excellent. Here, we'll put it here so you can still see the NES a little bit in the background there.
Pandemic Man.
And then let's close out. We won't close them out, actually. I'll swap in just a minute. First.
Wait.
That accompaniment reminds me of the cave theme in 8 because of the timbre now.
Mm.
Bum 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 bum.
They really lean into the strings here. I like it.
I wasn't a fan, but the second phrase, when they get lush, that's nice. Whoa!
That was a swell.
I love the airship just saying hi.
That's like the flute.
I agree with Dark Sword, by the way. They're really trying to push that this is the game of the trilogy that has the story.
What do the rest have?
Objectives.
I would argue that objectives count as narrative. Oh, I have to do that chapter.
The story in FF1 and 3 sucks compared to the plot in 2. Like, they really invest in the plot in 2 at the expense of gameplay, one might argue.
I just reread Janet Murray, so, like, you say that counts as the narrative, I'm like, I was...
Lenny?
Can't I say?
What's really crazy is we've not yet looped. It's long.
Wow.
Yeah, FF2 starts in medias res. It pushes forward what games could do, because the combat communicated the narrative, not just the game side. There's the loop. Let's do combat real quick.
Mm-hmm. Oh, but the music is so different. Okay.
Again, we've got our VGL.
The strings don't work here for me.
No, I wanted brass here, honestly. That little the pitch bendy thing doesn't do it for me here.
Like, yeah, let them do that.
Now, the brass is ever so slightly out of tune on that victory roll-up, and I hate it. I can't stand it.
That's going back to the like weird tuning of the chiptune. That's what that is. Oh.
Alright, let's hear the rest of this.
Oh, I'm okay with French horn. One of my best friends is a French horn player. What are these trills? They're so extra. Loots and loots.
The water effects for the trilogy are incredible. I can't talk enough about how good they are.
They really are.
So remember that Firion and Maria's sprites were originally just the fighter, right? They really do a good job of giving all three characters original art.
We could say smart things about the music, but no. We're in chat instead.
What?
Oh man.
Sorry, Ryan.
So let me boot up
Okay.
here very quickly.
Thank you.
On the French horn thing, I don't know if this is unique to this person, my dear friend Katie, but have you ever noticed that French horn players, like, are really excited when they hear French horn in anything?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, a movie soundtrack or, like, a TV, they'll be like, French horn! And you're like, yeah, I can identify the instrument. You know?
Even when they're professional, yeah. Even when it's like them, well, then I would scream too.
Well, and the thing is, this friend of mine and I were pretty big Star Trek fans, so, like, the Star Trek films have a fair amount of French horn in them.
A fair amount.
It gives it that nice, like, epic space vibe, right? So she was constantly like, French horn! I was like, throwing pillows at her across
So
the living room.
let's do a full side-by-side of the remaster and the PSP on the left.
But why is that? I don't know very many other instrumentalists that go, oh, hey, that's my instrument every time it shows up.
Any instrument where you're like putting your hand inside the horn, like they're gonna be that way.
That's pretty intimate.
Now, I mentioned graphically, they tried to come closer to the NES game when possible. Here, in Final Fantasy II, I think the opposite has been done. They added a lot to the characterization of, especially Firion and Maria. You can see, like, Firion has the red and blue aesthetic on the headband for himself. Converting that from the complex, like, big sprite to the tiny, in proportion, for the Final Fantasy Trilogy sprite on the right in the new version works really well for me.
Sure.
I was thinking about something else, but I missed all of that.
The
I'm gonna say
this
yes.
version of the town theme we're hearing now, by the way,
Yeah.
Elizabeth, as long as you
it's a lot more
Juliana,
boring.
it's fine.
Okay.
So here's our PSP Rebel Army song.
I can dig it.
We're clearly working with the NES's lines here. We're not adding a bunch, if that makes sense. We're just putting a string patch on it.
Yep.
And then the guitar comes in for the second pass to kind of extend that length a little bit. All right. Let's put this tiny again and go back to the Pixel Remaster. Which
Yeah, that's in print twice now, Julianne, because I did it in the dissertation and in that Bach article.
Yes.
Right, here we go.
Whenever I Google myself, I get that, and I'm so happy.
Well, you should put it in your like happy file. Do you have one of those where you just like save things
I do.
for whenever you're having a day?
Uh-huh.
Nice emails from the advisor or like
Absolutely. All
screenshots of things people have sent you.
Yep.
One of my big pieces of advice to grad students is to start one of those files.
Oh yeah. It's...
The woodwinds come in again instead of the guitar this time.
Hello. I don't mind the string verse. This feels like a middle movement of the symphony. The way it's orchestrated.
That makes sense to me.
Like, I feel like I have played this, you know what I mean?
Yep. All right. Go back to the title
Like,
screen.
it's giving me kind of a Brahms vibe. Why am I thinking...
Brahms could never.
Yeah, you wrote Brahms could never. Something about that orchestration and like the crispness of that articulation feels like Brahms's that I have played.
I think Dark Sword is right. There's a lot more attention paid to the articulations in these versions.
Of the very few comments I've actually made about the music so far, almost all of them have been articulation.
Yeah.
Of all of the themes in this game, I'm jumping ahead to one of the last themes, incidentally. This is the one that really needs to be good. Oh, listen to that.
Epic choir.
Yes.
Carmina Burana vibes.
It's because this is the game that closes not just Final Fantasy II, this is the track that closes Final Fantasy IX. It comes back in full form on pipe organ, and it needs to be big here as we unify the aesthetic of the first 6, so it feels like it can be the track that can close Sakaguchi's contributions to the franchise. Yeah, I'm all about this. I haven't heard this one yet. That's fun.
It's fun.
So Final Fantasy 13 right now. To half travel maybe.
All right, there's the loop too.
Man, I should have worn my Moogle shirt instead of this one. The one that Julianne got me a matching.
Yay!
Except she can't wear it anymore. She outgrew it. So I've had to pack it up
Just
for any
a
future
pack.
babes.
I'll have to upgrade.
So, in Final Fantasy 1,
Start that one over really quick, because
Yeah.
I actually have transcribed that one before.
you got it. There.
I don't know if I dig that as a game over.
Yeah.
It's a little... Requiem Mass. Like, it's a little too big.
Yeah.
I like how intimate it sounds in the original.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And it like, you pick up more on, like, a baroquishness that...
Baroquery, yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
a lot of those death themes tend to draw on when the instrumentation isn't quite so expansive. Yeah.
Yes.
That one, I mean, it was fine, but yeah, it gave me like a
Game Over Music should mock you more than that.
Like Verdi Requiem Mass, you know, like not earlier ones. Like, it was a little bit too big. So how's everyone enjoying Skyward Sword?
Give me 5 minutes, we'll move on to Skyward Sword, I promise. I'm just gonna load the soundtrack player for 3 after I load my file and just show the aesthetic off. Because, remember, there is no 2D version of this until this remaster. And it's breathtakingly good. They've put so much effort into this one, and they charge more for it, too.
This is pretty.
Okay, I played this one, so. Ooh, I like it. Do I hate it? Or do I like it? I can't tell.
This brass
That's a little
moment to
chord
me, it sounds like the Toho franchise. And yeah, while it's still up on the channel, and this week is the last week I think it will be up, we had, was her name Sarah Chang at Nakvagum, who played the Shadowbringers piano concert arrangement, which includes this theme. If you didn't hear that piece on the concert, we had
I cried and died.
a significant percentage of the audio professionals I know in attendance for that, and all of them were like, what in the hell is happening here? This is so good.
Yeah. She's so talented.
Yeah. I love this kick, though. Here.
I'm kind of into it. It's interesting. I'll have to think about this track.
Right. It still hasn't looped, but
Yeah.
I want to get onto Skyward Sword, so I'm gonna pick this up. This track. This is an airship theme.
That is an airship theme.
It's silly.
Anyway, I said a long time ago that I would have paid $100 for this, and only this game, let alone the rest of them. I love Final Fantasy III. I've got the original on NES cartridge in English at home. And the whole game, every track I've heard in Final Fantasy III so far is tremendous. Let's go do one other song, and then we'll go to Skyward Sword. I'm not very far into it, because I've played through all of Final Fantasy I. Because they added B sections. How could I not do that?
Yes. Consort.
This
Oh,
track I'm listening to because on the NES, it uses a rapid arpeggiation effect that's very difficult to reconcile into a performance on standard instruments. This is pretty reasonable, though.
Yeah, there are definitely sweeps and arpeggiations that are like, you can be really good, but
Right.
like just because you can play it doesn't mean it comes off well, you know?
Yep.
Okay, this harmony's good. Shut up.
There's stuff I'm thinking about multi-tracking where I'm having to make decisions about things like that.
The added harmony here is very good, though, and this new B section is good. I love all of the added melody parts, and I thought I would hate them once I figured out he was doing it. I have not heard an added part to a track that I don't like yet.
Yeah.
And yes, Julianne's right. Every track starts out stupid and then, like, has a moment.
It's like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I'll eat that for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert.
Now, did you hear that chiptune drum in there? Wait.
Yay!
Hi, McAfee. I know, yeah, my Skype camera is busted. I don't know what's wrong with it. I suck at this.
Do it again. Oh no, man. Hello.
I love the prog rock organ there. It goes so hard.
Yeah. Yeah, this is very video game flighty.
Yes. And yet, they've not advertised how much the music has changed or been added at all, basically, except to say a sentence or two. Oh, if you really want the symphonic version, it's included.
I like the woodwind quintet.
Oh, I love this. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, very 70s Japanese action show. I like that.
Yeah, Dark Sword is right on the money with that.
Go bassoon, go.
I know, like dying.
I love that they gave us woodwind quartet versions. Or quintet versions.
These are great.
I want to play it.
I mean, this is like in Link's Awakening when the overworld theme was that beautiful string quartet, and I got so excited.
Here's the victory fanfare, Woodwind.
Oh, 100%. Yes. I get that arpeggio.
You know, as opposed to your prog rock.
Yes. Although I do like that, like, deep and...
Alright, last one, and then we're going to Skyward Sword.
Oh, man.
They kept the NES arrangement just for me for this track with the intro. This has always been my favorite edition of this piece of music, and I'm so glad they kept it. Anyway, I absolutely adore Final Fantasy III. I really want to play through the whole game on stream at some point. And, yes, more full woodwind arrangements in games would be awesome.
100,000,000%.
Alright, let's close this out. Seriously though, if you were on the fence at all about picking these up, just go do it. Oh my god, it's good.
They should
They're
pay
expensive
you.
though, aren't they?
It's $75 for the 6 of them.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But are
Oh,
you
for
pre-ordering
six?
the second? Wait, I thought it was only the first 3 that were out so far.
Only the first 3 are out so far, but that
But you buy it as a
price,
set?
you buy them as a set. You can buy them individually as well.
Huh.
But yeah, the music, I think, is the best
What
official
are they?
arrangements of them yet done. And the only gameplay I think anybody's going to miss, as somebody who's done all of the bonus content on Game Boy Advance and PSP, is the Final Fantasy 1 bonus content is not that great. It's like an endless dungeon grind that requires you to cheese mechanics to even have a chance of winning. The Final Fantasy 2 bonus content is going to be missed. Without spoiling the plot, there are a number of 4th slot characters who die throughout that narrative, and the bonus dungeon there
slot.
was what happens to them after they die in Pandemonium.
Okay.
And you got to play as the party of 4 dead NPCs to eventually go fight the Emperor and beat Final Fantasy 2 from the other end of Pandemonium, coming up from hell instead of going down there. That was very cool. And it's not there in the Pixel remasters, sadly.
Okay.
But we can only be so picky. All right, let me grab Joy-Cons.
Joy-Cons.
To speak to Elizabeth's question, the plan is going to be to take Nakfagum back to in-person. But with Karen and I on the committee, you can bet your ass that the first thing we said was we do not want to lose the ground we made for digital accessibility in the pandemic. So whereas some places, when they say, oh, we'll have hybrid or whatever, it will really only be like the keynote, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Or whatever. We are planning to do it in a true way. Whether or not that is like publicly available on Twitch or whether we use something more like a Zoom, you know, webinar type situation, that'll depend a little bit. But yeah, I think the plan is to, and we also know that like, especially if these variants ramp up, like who knows how things are going to go from here. There still could be a lot of issues with people like even getting travel funding and like the ability to physically be somewhere. So, love this subtweet of other conferences. I mean, for the most part, a lot of them are still online this coming year, but I can feel it in my bones that so many of them are just going to be like back to normal. And you know, oh, we're so excited to go back to normal. We're just gonna throw everyone in the dirt that was, you know, only able to attend this way.
What?
And the hangout space is in a thing called.
Oh, you need to put links back on, Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Remind me after we stream and I'll do it.
You're like doing 20 things.
Anybody who needs a link right now, DM Julianne or Dana and they'll put it in chat. I am, in fact, doing too many things right now.
Too many cooks, too many cooks. Too many cooks, too many cooks. Oh, where's Karen when we need her? Too many cooks.
Let's lower that a little bit. That's a little bit loud. All right,
Takes a lot to make us do. I love Too Many Cooks so much.
All right, can everybody see and hear? Did I do all that correctly?
Yes.
See it?
All right, good, good, good.
It's on the screen.
Oh, Discord friends, I can actually share better with you now. Hold on.
There we go.
Yay.
Oh wow, yeah. Suddenly my ability to hear things went way up.
There is some
Whoa,
static on the capture card, Dark Sword. I'm trying to pin that down. It's not just you. I haven't solved it yet. I've got an Elgato HD60S. I don't know why I'm having some static on the card. I'm going to try to route audio differently next time for Skyward Sword. Apologies, though.
Oof. Andrew, that wounds me to my soul. Too many cooks is like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
We need to have an intervention for Dana at some point about too many cooks.
Hey, Will and Steve are the ones that introduced me to it. Blame them.
I do.
Yeah.
Let's be clear.
You're like, they get their own intervention.
How much is the shield? We need to go buy one.
I just like whenever I bring it up when people are like, no, it's in my head again. How dare you?
Yeah, we're done. It's like,
ooh, he's got quite a face.
not that this was the
Indeed.
first game to do this, but this
A
was
fan bun.
cool
Look
way
at that
to
fan bun.
go near each person in the bazaar, and then the musical instrument would change to reflect something about that person.
That's exciting.
Yep.
Here we got the
Too bad it's awkward and exoticist.
Yeah.
here we got the problematic exoticist instruments.
Then we've got like shopping. I'm gonna turn this down ever so slightly, I think maybe.
Turn what down?
Game audio.
So
There.
quiet for me. Dang it! Okay. Maybe I just need to fix my Discord actually. I will shut up. Yes, I do.
How does he get his cheeks like that? That is some blush contouring that I don't know. Maybe go a little lighter on the blush, honey.
Yeah. He's got Happy Mask shop owner vibes.
Happy.
Right.
Yeah.
I like how Link's just nodding. Like, uh-huh.
And then he does that when you don't buy anything.
I love that little side eye, just the angle Ryan was at, and Link was kind of looking down.
I love that she claps on the beat.
She does. Oh, is she dragging up?
Yeah, I think she falls out of sync with it. Starts on though.
I'm gonna leave and then come back.
Yeah, she's just gradually slowing.
Yeah.
Like she's just a hair slower than
Now
it.
that's just trolling us, in particular. Okay.
Aw, cute little flute.
Hi.
Hi. I enjoy, like, this isn't really beep speech, but where, like, they have the text on screen and they just have, like, one word out of what they say, or, like, little utterances. It's kind of like in between beep speech and full dialogue. I always enjoy seeing, like, what words get highlighted when that happens.
Yeah.
Speaking of beep speech, by the way, if you all missed the amazing Twitter thread on how Celeste crafted its very, very good beep speech, all of the technical decisions that went into that were explained in full detail with screenshots from Fmod recently. Well worth your time to track down, if that's your thing.
You always do this, but I hate tracking things down on Twitter. Can't you just, like, send it to me?
No, I don't have it.
Who tweeted it?
The Lena Rain retweeted it, and it was the implementer from Celeste.
Okay.
I will.
Go here, find Lena Rain.
My Twitter's still blocked.
I'm just, like, really... I don't know, for y'all praising my live tweeting, I actually don't really love Twitter that much. And so there are a lot of eras where I'm just off Twitter for long periods of time.
Oh, Sound Shapes director is doing a new game. I love Sound Shapes so much. Have we played that on here? Because that'd be fun.
We've not. It's hard to find a platform where it tweets. I have to go jump off and fly to the Farron Woods or to the milk shop area. Elizabeth, you choose. Where should I go?
What?
I gotta get my bearings though.
Yeah, we're both looking for this tweet.
Okay.
I won't remember.
Google, I'm searching Twitter on Twitter.
Alright, Farron. Farron it is.
Thank you.
How do I... Oh, there.
Oh.
Lena Rain's tweeting about the remasters, and her party consists of my Final Fantasy 14 Warrior of Light Kino, my Final Fantasy 11 to Taru Taru Monk Kobe, not Locke, and VV2.
Nice. So, gameplay-wise, I was really torn on what to do in Final Fantasy 1. I didn't talk about that much because I just wanted to do music. But the damage formulas are very much closer to the Game Boy Advance, which would suggest that the Game Boy Advance party is better. But the catch is you don't have to be good or do any of the hard stuff, so it really just doesn't matter. I couldn't decide.
Alright, I'm gonna stop looking for now. I'll just leave her Twitter.
I will find it and
I'll remember.
I will find it and get it to folks. Ooh, that fanfare is really good now.
Being so grand.
Yeah, the reorchestrated, well, reorchestrated is the wrong word. Re-recorded music feels a little bigger.
Why? That's amazing. Why is my webcam all over here? Hold on.
I don't know, my webcam just quit working, so you're ahead of me.
You're doing 20 things. You get more grooves.
What has Sean done lately other than... I feel like the flying music is like the only thing we cite him for.
What has that man done?
Well, I guess I didn't mean that to sound like I was throwing shade. I'm just like, clearly, like, he's done other game work, right?
That's his calling card, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've kind of typecast him here. That's okay, you know. If you can get famous for one thing, like Julianzo's shit moment.
There we go.
I think part of it, in all honesty, was I know when he was going up for tenure last year, right? It was last year, I think.
Yeah.
He was trying to pull a lot of stuff together, and I think a lot of it wasn't game stuff. There were fears that wouldn't read as well with the particular tenure committee. Because folks are still weird about Ludo. The end.
Yep.
I forgot you have to slash the right
a lot
way.
Of them aren't. There's a lot of savvy folks, but there are also folks that just like still don't understand because like they don't video game and what they have in their head is really juvenile.
It feels very niche. Like and it's sort of like, oh, you do that very specific thing, even though video games actually give you opportunities to talk about like everything with music. It feels to people like a very, very niche small topic, even though you could...
Yeah, I talk to my non-major game development students about, like, 19th century practice regularly. Like,
yeah,
you can do the whole gamut with games.
Uh-huh.
As Karen has shown with her work on medievalism, etc.
It bridges really easily.
I hate Demise's design. I hate it. It's just a giant anime mouth.
It's not what it is.
Oh.
I want more personality than just mouth.
so many comments to that. I can't even pick one. AKA Twinkle Toes. See, I don't know this game at all, so I'm learning.
Oh, really? You didn't play the original at all?
No. Don't y'all know my shameful Zelda history?
No.
We talked about it last time.
I've played the first 3 and Link's Awakening.
He does have toes.
And then nothing until Breath of the Wild. I'm only 5 Zelda games. That's all I've ever done. I didn't do Wind Waker. I didn't do Ocarina. And I was having this conversation with Will recently. I have a similarly patchy Mario. So all the big franchises, Final Fantasy I've probably played more than most, but at some point all of them ran into the issue where I just couldn't keep up with the consoles. So, and I'm shook when there's people that have played every single one. I'm just like, are you rich? Like, how did you get all those consoles?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. With the sailcloth. I'm dumb, Elizabeth.
Yeah, for a long time I just didn't have the consoles. I married into some good consoles, but there were a lot. I missed everything after the 16-bit era for a long time. I got a PS2 as a master's degree. When I finished my recital, I got myself a PS2 used. So, and that was 2011. So it's not like that was the heyday of the PS2.
Oh, come on.
So.
I'm so glad my camera's off because I look like an absolute moron right now.
I didn't know the camera's off.
So yeah, as I look back, I'm seeing things that are in Breath of the Wild that I'm like I made that comment last week about some of the little get item fanfares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, sound is what I hear in Breath of the Wild. I don't have the history to know that that's a continuation.
Yeah, a lot of them came specifically from the Skyward Sword sound set.
Yep. Unpopular take for Lenny. Your ship breaking in Breath of the Wild is good, and it's good for you.
I actually I am with that unpopular take. I'm happy with durability mechanics.
I just think the durability is set a little too low in that it makes you spend so much of your time just hunting down new weapons. I like the idea of durability to a point, but I feel the ratio of how I spend my time in that game is not balanced the way it should be. Does that make sense?
I don't know if I just played differently.
In the early game, yes, to Dana. Once you get the Master Sword, and all your other weapons become only tools, you carry a fire sword when you need fire and ice thing when you need ice, then you basically never run out of durability anymore.
Oh, I felt like I was always hunting weapons.
Dowsing is the dumbest name for this, by the way. Tracking, tracing.
I liked it. I was like, what is that? That's so weird. I don't know. I just thought it was weird.
Well, dowsing rods.
Yeah, it actually is what it is.
That's an ancient divination thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game made me look it up. Is that a word? Oh, it is.
Of course, Ryan, you might not have been as familiar with that because Martin Luther listed dowsing for metals as an act that broke the first commandment.
What?
So...
That is not what I do not know what it is.
In your tradition, you might not have come across it.
I do love the extra creativity in finding ways to peg on me for this.
I mean, I'm sure the Catholics weren't so big on the occult. They aren't, I should say. I don't have any specific pokes that are pointing it out, but I think it's kind of in there that, yeah, you shouldn't do this. Now, of course, I'm reading the Wikipedia page on Dowsing. This is interesting.
Oh no! Ugh.
Ooh. One of the names for
Hey, look
it
at me, I
is
did it, team.
It's a Lookroot, which is a luck rod, which I love.
Oh, the sailcloth isn't weirdly described as smelling good. It smells like Zelda, and Link loves Zelda, therefore it smells good.
I mean,
That's cute. It's not weird, right?
it could be weird. But she gave it to him, right?
Yes.
A little less weird. It's not like he did a panty raid with his fraternity bros.
Wow.
Only like an 80s movie. I don't know anyone that actually did stuff like that in a fraternity. But I
don't
also
think-
went to a nerd school.
I don't think Zelda is exactly selling her bathwater. Like... It does say that it smells nice too, is how
They
it's
made a
worded.
lot of money on that.
Ah, yes, this music.
You're not sorry, Lenny. You're just guilty.
Regret. Polygon butt. What is that noise? It's like a weird, like, giggle. It's kind of...
I love these sound effects so bad.
The old one.
I love that her hair is like a pendulum on a clock.
So good.
Even an economy, the rupees are just decoration. Yeah, maybe they make jewelry.
Therefore, she does not.
Well, you could barter for bathwater. Doesn't have to be.
Harder for bathwater. I had to say it. Sorry, Lenny.
You could barter for lots of things. I'm not sure how far down this road we want to go.
What are we talking about?
I'll give you a stack of 5 pumpkins.
Oh, man.
So I have a game thing to talk about instead, which is probably for the best. Those of you who have played this game before were introduced to this character as the old one. I knew this character's identity the moment I saw them, and it just felt like they were delaying telling me for no reason. But it's sold to you as a big deal, and it's not.
Is it Imp?
I
It's not
didn't know.
Impa, is it?
I didn't know. Shut up. I didn't know. It also been like 20 years since I played a Zelda game.
I was gonna say, is it Impa? Or no?
I'm purposely not going to say in case.
Okay, that's fine. Again, I haven't played very many Zeldas, so if it's something from one of the games I have not played, then I'll just be like, oh, interesting person.
Man, I can't win today.
Whoa. Damn.
First your camera goes off.
Right? You can't even see me scowling at y'all.
I know. That's okay.
Here.
I can imagine. The face when we've disappointed conference mom. I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
None of you can disappoint me.
Aww. I don't know. There have been some pun runs on this show of ours.
There have
Oh.
been.
So if I haven't disappointed you, I've certainly come close. trying to hypnotize you with that actually very impressive hair now that I look at it. Like, she got it wound in a perfect circle, and then the little, like, tail of it comes out the center. Like,
Yeah.
how? How? I'm into the vibe of the music right now. It's
Yeah, I like
very
this.
chill. Forget the lo-fi study / work too.
Right.
Just listen to that.
Oh, was I supposed to grab a treasure chest before I left there?
Only Elizabeth would know.
Yeah.
Didn't the lady tell you to get a treasure chest? I'm pretty sure she told you to get a treasure chest.
I know, and I didn't see it.
I played this game yesterday. It's still not.
I have way too many things I want to play at the same time right now. Speaking of the conversation that's happening in the stream right now, this is out. The Pixel remasters are out. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is out, and The Forgotten City out. If anybody here liked Outer Wilds and wants more first-person adventure explore mystery with time loops, The Forgotten City is for you.
Shut up. I have too many things due or overdue.
No, I've got a chapter due Monday now. I've got a chapter due at the end of August. And
Yeah.
wait, Darkstar Blastermaster 03 also released? And yes, I specifically passed on Famicom Detective Club until after Phoenix Wright. But it's also out. Okay, it's out soon. I want to play it and I don't have time. Ugh.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, my next game is going to be The Sims 4 Cottage Living, y'all.
Yes.
It's basically Stardew Valley in The Sims.
Nice.
But I have
They
some things.
got
I have some things I have to turn in before I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Not out all mention of new releases. Why, to keep yourself from getting bogged down?
Yes. Even though I said I wanted to be bogged
Yeah,
earlier today.
you are a flip flopper.
Oh my god. Don't let me go into politics. They knock over this beer can, okay. Did you just miss copy? I'm finally reading this.
Oh, Elizabeth, The Forgotten City.
I said no.
And
to
I will caution before you just go and buy it immediately. It's got the same exploring time loop stuff, but it's a murder mystery and there is violence. It's not all the Outer Wilds is like friendship discovery stuff. It's a whodunit, but a very, very good one.
I guess that's true.
I had started to play it with Oliver, actually, because he really likes creepy, violent things, and he's a 6-year-old. He's not allowed to play creepy, violent things. So this was like, well, let's figure out who did the violence that happens off camera, right? He got like sort of excited about that.
funny.
And then I started to play a lot more of it with Addie. Where's my treasure chest? I want it. I was probably supposed to Skyward Strike somewhere and I wasn't paying attention. I'm gonna go talk to the old one again.
The old one.
But creepy stuff actually started to happen very quickly. And Addie was like, "You let Oliver play this?" No, all the questions I have are not answered. Where's my treasure chest? Silly person. Oh, my Master Sword supercomputer might in fact tell me. Hold on. No, Lenny, as usual, she is useless. Alright, I don't see it. Whatever, we're moving on. If it's vital that I figured out what I was supposed to do, then I can come back later, I guess.
Oh, no, 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 no! A certain amiibo figure? That wasn't in the original.
You don't need it, is the thing. That's like a quick save, right?
I've never quick saved in my life.
You can just find a statue. There's enough of them. Oh no, you can't do it. You gotta move it first. Human Fall Flat, Zelda edition, right here.
I love that game.
It's my boys' favorite game.
It's hilarious.
They've finished it
So
now.
I don't blame them. Good for them. I really haven't devoted much time to it, but I think it's hilarious.
It's very funny. In two-player mode, you can
goofiness
boost
of the
people by, like,
Yeah.
jumping up and stabbing the other person's body with your head.
Yeah.
So, Lenny, this edition of Skyward Sword does autosave every new load. So you have that, too. If you have kids, though, you can't trust autosave. You must save. No, deleting Julian's save file. That's not awesome.
Thanks for bringing that up again.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is not good. Oh, it wants me to use this one. Okay, it's fine then. I have the wrong colors of Joy-Cons. Mine's blue for the red one and red for the blue one. And I get confused.
Oh. Why you do that?
Because I'm dumb.
Okay.
I don't know that I'm in love with the orchestral hits in the remastered edition of this.
It's a lot of hits.
It's a lot of orchestra hit.
Was there not as much, or did it not exist in the original? I forget.
It did, but it wasn't quite as punchy.
Oh, not hitty.
Right.
Articulation.
Hit as hard.
Whoa, I'm yawning.
It'd be really nice if Link had the ability to say, "I won't hurt you," but we all know that he can't talk.
Yep. Oh yeah, not with these guys.
Nothing says, "I won't hurt you," like chasing it with a sword, though.
I still have memory cards. As I'm like looking back through chat, I missed because I was sending a message.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll never get rid of it.
We still have so many of those old systems.
We've got memory
Which
cards
I
here,
really
yeah.
hope Bill O'Hara comes to Friday Night Dinner. That would make me really happy. He's in my neck of the
He
woods.
coming through town? Yeah.
He said he's in Cleveland.
Oh, nice. I want to see people in person. Man.
Yo, what the heck?
Oh, a music paper on human fall
Oh,
flat.
Elizabeth,
That's fun.
thank you for that.
So much pizzicato. Very cute.
Mm-hmm. No, don't interrupt me right after I go "Huh," and start. Now I have to do it again. Oh, I can't leave here.
The
Okay.
Amber Relics respawn, eh?
Oh, that's really nice, actually. Oh my god, controls. The dousing control is not great.
Aww.
20 grand. That's a lot, Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's a lot of rupees.
You need 20 grand? Ah. That's a famous XKCD comic, right? About moving the hyphen over when people say like, "Oh, that's a sweet ass car." Moving the hyphen, so it's a sweet ass car. So that's it. Hi, Pete. A wild
Hi, Pete.
Florida man appears. At least he said popping on. I almost read that wrong. Based on the earlier comment about pooping out a bird.
Yeah.
A wild Florida man runs away.
Do you have to roll for that?
That's only half a headline, Pete. We want to know what you're running from or towards.
Also, as a big D&D player, I feel like he should roll a d20 for that. 16 or higher, and he succeeds.
Ooh, that's a tough roll.
Yeah. I'm DMing this game. I set the rules. See, with the gator in his arm without pants, definitely 16 or higher to allow him to leave. That's some added difficulty right there.
Oh, Jackson, we did Final Fantasy for the first hour and 20 minutes, and we hopped to Skyward Sword, which was always the plan. Sorry you missed it.
Apologies.
We will revisit those
we're not
pixel
involved.
remasters later, in full, I think.
Oh, I cannot wait to see what Pete rolls. He got a 17.
17.
I don't believe you. I do actually. I think Pete is a very upstanding fellow and would not lie to us.
Plus, you've got to be a good roll if you're going to live in Florida.
Well, the dice wills it so. I guess you can leave us.
We'll see you later, Pete.
Are the controls good for Skyward?
I hear yes.
They're...
But we can't see.
The controls are reasonable.
I've heard mixed reviews.
Here's the thing. The big thing about controls in this game, and with apologies, my camera has quit working on me 45 minutes in. You can either have right stick camera control all the time, or sword on stick controls, but not both. It's an infinite improvement from the Wii just because you can spin the camera whenever you want. Oh, Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster controls are great. That's easy to answer.
That's an
Yeah. That's funny. I would assume they'd be talking about this game too. So
yeah. Well, I figured it was good to ask.
The diagonal walking takes a minute of getting used to it, but now I never want to go back, honestly. Nope, nope, nope.
Takes 10 damage. Round robin DM. Oh. That is some improv there.
That's awesome.
I've always been interested in learning how to DM.
Hold on.
I feel like I would be decent at it,
There we go.
but it's a project, you know?
Elizabeth wants me to go push the logs down there. Which I guess I can do. Let me get across here first.
That's a great noise. That's a little bit like the Josephine noise that I have talked about.
Alright. Push the logs. I can't push
Actually,
this
hers is a lot
log
different. I'll have to
anywhere.
get a recording of it.
Where do you want me to push it? Push the other one. Oh, over here. There we go.
That's the song. Now you have to make that mashup. The end. Bye.
You could easily do that in that pizzicato line. Bum, 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 bum. Totally, I can hear it.
Alright. No. Camera. Alright.
I wasn't allowed to watch Ren and Stimpy.
I'm really excited to see Ren and Stimpy's silhouette in the new Nickelodeon Smash Brothers game.
And that's not one that, like, I had a strong desire to go back to, because by the age that, like, I could have watched it, it didn't have the appeal anymore, right?
That's a humor you'll grow out of if you miss it, for sure.
Right. Right. And also, I didn't have cable, so not very cash money inclusive.
Huh. I don't remember now, but if you do my chores for me, I might remember more. It is a big energy.
Yeah, when did you ever get cable, Julianne? And if so, how old were you?
I think my parents got cable. Was I already out? I think I was already in college.
I was in college as well. I think I was a sophomore.
Yeah, something around there. Well, probably very similar to Emma. Yep, thanks, Lenny. I'll never forget.
So
forgot.
Lenny, what was the big show you watched on cable TV?
I was gonna say.
Exclusive. Moneybags smoker. Wizards of
Wizards
yeah.
of Waverly Place. What?
Yeah.
I'm now picturing Pete with a handlebar mustache. It's an image. It's like what is no shade the Movember where people grow the mustaches.
Yes.
Right.
Sorry about me, I was 14. I feel like that applies to everyone, Lenny.
Yep.
Let's see, what did I do when I was 14?
I lied. The motion controls are not good right now.
Oh, barbershop quartets are great places. Great venues for handlebar mustaches.
To make matters worse. You have so much more material, Lenny. I can't believe you have it.
Well, there's still love there, you know. Just mild embarrassment. It's nothing mean. I'm still not over, like, your mom watching Nakbagum. And
That was pretty
commenting
great.
on how good you both looked.
Like, you guys look beautiful. Just texting me as I was trying to pay attention.
So sweet.
Still, yeah.
Love it. I love it.
It was cute.
Yeah, extremely wholesome. That's what that is.
That was definitely a wholesome moment. That you couldn't have at a regular non-active conference, so there you go.
I showed my mom my multi-track videos, but like,
Aww.
I don't know, getting her onto Twitch to like see any of that stuff live, like, no. She's not very interested in learning technologies that she doesn't already know. You know, she's just like, I'm gonna like do yoga or read a book. I don't need to learn how to use Twitch.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, like today she wanted me to send a message to one of my cousins because like Facebook Messenger, she was just like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do it so it's not public. And I'm like, you just hit message. And she's like, can you just do it? Like, yes, I will convey your good wishes to my
am
cousin.
a teacher, yeah. Like, man. Is there anything that, like, not like TikTok or something, but any sort of interface, or maybe TikTok or something, that you're like, oh, I'm old now. I don't quite get this intuitively.
Snapchat was a little bit like that for me. But it wasn't that I didn't know how to use Snapchat. It was that I just, like, I still don't understand why Snapchat has to be.
Yeah, well, Elizabeth, I'm trying. My right Joy-Con isn't being received very well right now. Snapchat for sure. In fact, Julian has an amazing story. I don't know if she remembers this about my Snapchat. Hold on, let me fight these guys. I made the mistake of asking Julian for tech support.
On Snapchat?
Yes. Every time my phone, and I've upgraded it since, so maybe this has changed. When I would run Snapchat, I would hit the sign in button and it would just immediately close. And I was like,
wow.
And I asked Julian, I forget, were we at a conference together or something, or just online in chat? I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah.
But I was like, why is this happening? And immediately, no hesitation, no waiting, she just has it at hand. It's because you're a married dude over 30.
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
That's one of your better burns, Julianne. My goodness.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know. I was very suspect of it from the beginning, where I'm like, I'm an Instagram person, so I'm like, why do my photos need to disappear unless they're not safe for work? Like, I didn't get the idea of the photos disappearing. I still don't, actually.
Mine were just always so absurd.
Whereas, like TikTok, I understand. TikTok is basically Vine, right? Like,
Right.
TikTok's fine.
Well, and I don't use the Twitter fleets or Facebook stories at all. If I put a photo, it just is going to sit there. I don't do anything that's temporary.
Yeah.
That's right, they are getting rid of fleets. The one I'm on, because I got invited, and it's exclusive, therefore I thought I'd better, is I am on Clubhouse, but I never use it.
Wow.
Vine existed when we were younger, therefore it's acceptable.
Rest in peace, Vine. Vine was entertaining. Even if I often didn't watch actual Vine and instead watched YouTube compilations of Vine.
Yeah, that's acceptable.
You know, sometimes you just want other people to curate it for you.
Alright, actually, instead of finding this thing, I realized it's 10:59. I'm gonna go find a statue. And then we're gonna be done with this.
That caw sound, I love it. It's excellent. Must be burned for heretic. Well, then I don't have much longer. Gotta be careful. I gotta learn all the new tech right now.
It's true. It really was the Wild West for us, if I'm gonna get on my old person soapbox. Absolutely.
Yep.
And I do miss it sometimes.
What, the internet when we were younger?
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel like the stakes are a lot higher now, though, too. Like, we got to make a lot of mistakes that you can't make today.
Do you get nervous about, like, being a parent and, like, having to teach your kids to navigate the internet knowing what's out there.
No, and the reason why is they don't, and they're not allowed to, and they're not going to for a hell of a long time. At the end.
I'm thinking about it, and we have a lot longer time than you do before they're going to be encountering it in some form. I don't know. I totally
I'll say this as we're closing here, as I'm running around like a lunatic trying to find a save point. None of my game developer friends who are parents, here we go, let their kids use social media until they're 16 or 18.
That's smart. They don't need it in middle school. Middle school is...
it's... God.
And we don't need any of that stuff, like, out there on the internet, you know?
Yes, and Dark Sword is also correct, and it's not about education insofar as all of the streamers here have media degrees, essentially. It's, if you didn't grow up immersed with the rules of this culture in the 90s, then you're unaware of how bad it can get. And old people... our parents' generation, were like, oh yeah, you're doing this internet thing. Like, it's changed significantly without those folks, and I'm pretty convinced we have come pretty close to, like, information ruining an entire generation of people.
Anyway.
On the plus side, that means that there's always going to be room for humanities degrees.
Yeah, for real. For real. Yeah, I think about it, and like, there's a lot of ugliness out there, but, you know, Joe being, like, pretty immersed in things like Reddit, like, he's seen a lot of things on the internet that I don't think I could handle. Like, he's just so much more immersed in internet culture and everything, and I feel like, honestly, that's a boon for us, for showing Josephine how to navigate it. Like, I don't know.
Well, yeah. I knew Dark Sword as an internet person, as the Overclocked Remix forum moderator, for about 5 years before I actually met him in person. And I have to say, what a difficult, crappy job that had to have been at the height of those forums. That's tough.
I know. We're modeling cultivating nice spaces online, which is nice.
We all just make fun of each other. But yes.
Yeah. But
in a loving way.
It's not anonymous, which is part of it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's one important thing.
Yes, I also want you to put on a panel about moderator war stories at MagFest, in part because you're a really good storyteller, and I think it'd be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that would be really, really entertaining.
I would go to that in a heartbeat.
All right.
Absolutely.
In any case, we're going to be back. Are we doing more Skyward Sword next week?
Probably.
Sure.
That's my plan.
I don't think we have anything else, unless we were going to do like more devoted time to Pixel remasters.
I'd be willing to dive into any of them. It just depends what all we want to do. I really want to do all of 3, because that's the first time this music's been arranged in this format, really. And yeah. I was kind of waiting until we had completed files of 1 and 2 to just kind of zip around and finish, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Rather than do all of 1, and especially all of 2, because here's the thing about Final Fantasy II, if anybody hasn't played it before we go. 90% of the locations on the map you can walk to from the start. There's no vehicle restrictions. If you're good enough, you can just walk to Mysidia and buy Holy. That's weird, and it completely changes the way you play that game if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So that save file I loaded, I'm at the first town. I've been grinding for 3.5 hours now, and I am going to murder this game once I get good enough.
Yeah.
I had Toad 8. I think Julianne commented on it. Once you get Toad 16, you can Toad and insta-kill anything in the entire game, including the last boss. That's the game plan. So not all of 2, but more of 1 and all of 3 at some point. But probably Zelda for a week yet, I think. Let's get through Faron Woods and then break, right? Because there's 3 major zones in Skyward Sword. And yes, FF2 is based on the GBA version, and you want that to be the case, because otherwise it was 50 magic casts to level a spell. That's bad. Don't do that. Anyway, folks, we'll see everybody next week. Thanks.
Alrighty.
Bye.
Bye, team.